Had to think for a little while before taking this part. What was the turning point that made you end up taking it?
I initially said no because I was kind of scared of spending so long away from home. And then I ended up catching a second wind and my fall had kind of freed up. I had a project that didn't end up happening and I felt like I had the capacity to spend more time away from home. I also tripped in front of the Hunger Games exhibition in Las Vegas and I looked up and
that was me saying, Rachel, come to us.
It's Tom, like, you don't know me yet.
yeah. We haven't met yet, but we're meant to.
Well, we're going to.
Audiences are really going to resonate with her strength and her ability to overcome any kind of hardship. Oh, Tom is the loveliest guy, such a smart, intelligent, intentional actor. He's Juilliard trained and it shows, and I just loved getting to play these characters with him.
You have some flowers on your dresses?
My corset is hand painted when I'm wearing that rainbow ruffled dress, and the corset has primrose flowers and also Katniss flowers.
Yeah. You drowned me one day.
I was clinging to Tom for dear life in that lake.
Oh, there's a bit where you're like properly on his shoulders.
Yeah. And they made it look romantic in the
in reality
I was choking for my life because like I thought we were both strong swimmers. It turns out only me.
No, I can swim, but only if someone's chasing me.
Yeah, yeah, right.
What happened? I just want to know. She doesn't even have to write the book, and she just needs to tell me.
Okay, so spoiler alert.
Fine. And I love her. I want her to be free. Survival, at least on her side. Of course, it's a story for Coriolanus and about Coriolanus, but Lucy Gray's motivation is to stay alive for myriad reasons, for herself, for her family, and for the hope of a better future for everyone, for the entirety of Panem. And so my hope is that he's having actual delusions at the end from the snake bite, and that my footsteps do continue. Or I scaled a tree and choose. Juicy. I believe in her survival. I believe in her ability to survive because off camera, Casca Highbottom says that he's thankful that she survives Coriolanus, and I think it would be a disservice to her if she didn't actually follow through on that. About her that he's able to fall in love with, that haunts him for the rest of his life. I mean, he looks at Katniss and he is scared out of his mind because of how much what she represents reminds him of Lucy Gray. And so that's like a really delicious challenge as an actor, but a really amazing thing as a fan of these books to read and see how Suzanne kind of flipped the script on her female character.
Hunger Games? Approximately none. I can be fast, I can run. I'm also really good at climbing because we actually did do all of that climbing in the arena ourselves. There was no wire situation, so I was really running up those broken pieces of the arena. What elements of your character do you wish you embodied in real life? There's a fearlessness that Lucy Gray has, like an inherent confidence, always knowing that whatever she does, it's for her own survival. Lucy Gray is very much like, this is just how it has to be. I have to live, I have to survive, I want to help my family. I really like that about her. I've got a great positivity.
She's not bricking it.
She's not bricking it. And if she is, she'll never let you know. Being in a prequel of a franchise with a known ending. I think it's fun because it's always fun to see the choices that the actors made when the originals were being made and how they somehow link to the prequels. And seeing, even though those actors then probably didn't know the story behind their characters, that there's still that like weight and like a weight that they carry. And I just just really love that. I find it really interesting as an actor to go back and watch original movies after prequels for movies come out. I think it's really fun.
Oh! No! I knew that was gonna happen.
You planned it.
Yeah, I planned it.
Both of you. I mean, I love so much about getting to play this character. I love her attitude. I love that she gets to sing and she gets to use her voice in such a meaningful way. I also really loved her costumes. I think about that all the time. I had so much fun, like, in my fittings with Trish Somerville, our costume designer. And so it kind of felt like the final piece to her when I was getting into character was putting on the costumes and the wig and then getting to get out there. To meet Jennifer at an event for Dior a couple of weeks ago. Time is fake, and but you know we didn't really connect before then, and so my performance was already kind of locked and loaded and ready to go, which I felt good about. You know, you don't really want to be influenced by any of it, especially because our characters are not the same. Yours, in a way, are. You're just playing the same person. But, you know, getting to talk to her is so amazing, and she didn't realize how much of her crew from the original movies had moved on to do ours as well. So it was really nice and felt like a little bit of a reunion for her in this movie. But we both did our first movie together. We got to act together. There's something so wonderful about coming to set and seeing a familiar face and somebody that you are so comfortable with and consider to be a second home. So I felt so at ease, and I just love seeing him shine. As somebody who's known him for 4 years now, it's amazing to watch his trajectory and watch him soar, and he's so beautiful in this film. I loved my last look in the film, which is like a gold skirt, and there's a lot of layers to that skirt, which you don't really get to see too much, but it reminded me of, you know, like a very classic Audrey Hepburn silhouette, but with the, you know, kind of in the world of Lucy Gray, where it's like a big puffy shirt and then obviously your mother's scarf in it. And it's such a beautiful look. I loved it a lot, but I loved all my looks. It's really hard to pick a favorite.
Bringing this to the fans and to have been able to make this movie with my friends and with an incredible filmmaker and to speak the words of Suzanne Collins. Yeah, I think the thing about Lucy Gray is that we don't know too much about her, and I love that about her. She's so mercurial and enigmatic. She flies through life for her own self-preservation, and I think it's such an honorable thing. And she also uses her voice when she has something to say. Suzanne writes this fantasy version of the reality that she sees around her. And the thing about our world is that it's ever changing, but the core principles of humanity and what society looks like remain the same. And I think that the fact that that lasts forever and that fans always find that resonance with the plot, it just keeps it going on and on forever, which is a beautiful thing. And we walk away with questions about ourselves and about the world around us. I mean, Tom is one of the most amazing actors and such an intentional, intelligent actor. And getting to work with that is delicious for an actor like me, because I love seeking that out in other actors. What a lovely scene partner to have, and someone who's so easy to fall in love with. He's just a joy, and it was so fun to play with those characters with him. There is so much action and an amazing set designed by Uli Hanisch, beautiful costumes by Trish Somerville. See it in a huge theater with speakers to hear Dave Cobb's and James Newton Howard's music, and enjoy some good old-fashioned cinema.
Better than I can, but Suzanne used to be a country music DJ.
Yes.
And so it was one of those things that she's been so immersed in that world, and the you know, District 12 geographically is North Carolina, Appalachian, very southern. So that music was very like jug band, folksy country music, and she had a clear idea of what she wanted. All of the songs, she had actually written out the lyrics in the book, what she wanted them to sound like.
Such an incredible story, and we really are so thankful to Suzanne for adding on to something that's so iconic. And I think a lot of the filmmakers thought that the story was over with Katniss and the gang, and getting to delve into these characters in an even deeper, meaningful way. It's such an honor as an actor to get to do that, and also just as a storyteller in general, it's really beautiful. I mean, Lucy Gray is a very mercurial young lady, and she goes on a journey of self-discovery, but also self-preservation. It's a story of survival for her, first and foremost, and she gets to have a really beautiful romance along the way, but also a lot of a contentious relationship as well. But I mean, chemistry can't be faked, it can't be contrived, and it can't be made in a lab, hilariously enough. But Tom and I kind of met and instantly clicked. We instantly became friends, and I just adore him so much. He's such a meaningful actor with intention and a sense of intelligence that is very hard to find, but also a care for his scene partners, myself included, and getting to be cared for by him is an honor, and getting to fall in love with him on screen is an honor. Jason is an insane professional who is so off-the-cuff hilarious with careful planning and intention, but also ad-libbing in the moment. I am in awe of him. I am a huge fan of his, and after working with him, I'm just an even bigger fan. Oh my gosh, Francis is my favorite collaborator I've ever worked with, because working with him doesn't feel like someone's in charge. It feels like it's a real collaboration, and I just adore him. I want to make every movie with him. It is The Hunger Games you know and love, but it delves into the reason why, and Suzanne Collins is exceptional at holding up a mirror to society and asking the real tough questions that don't necessarily leave us with an answer, but definitely leave us wanting more.
I feel like we'd have a great time. We're a good group. We work well together. I think in Duisburg was so much fun because it was our District 12, and so it was my turf. It was where I got to feel most at home. And Uli Hanisch, who made The Hob, where Lucy Gray and the Cubby found space in Duisburg in one of those industrial parks where I think they used to produce steel and iron.
Yeah.
And District 12 is the coal mining district. So it was not too far off from what it probably would look like if it were real. And what was amazing about our sets, so they were all practical for the most part, aside from like 2 or 3 things we did on the stages at Studio Babelsberg. But I had the most amazing time at the Hob. It was like coming home because I got to be on stage again and performing for other people live. We recorded all the music live. We played guitar live. Honor Gillies played the bass live. Everybody was playing their instruments. It was so much fun. So, yeah.
Did you have the...
When we were staying in Düsseldorf to get to Duisburg every morning, we were staying in Düsseldorf on the water. And it was just so beautiful to walk around that center of town. There's a beautiful, there's a lot of amazing Asian food markets there. There's a really big Asian population in Düsseldorf. And we got to explore a lot of different restaurants. And then when we came to Berlin was really when we had a lot of German cuisine. And I was a fan of the currywurst. I really liked currywurst, which I wasn't expecting to like it because people were explaining to me what it was.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit hesitant, but it was very good.
Okay.
There are so many. I definitely, all of the scenes I have with Tom are so incredible. That's because he's a wonderful scene partner. There's a scene in an alleyway when we're in District 12, without giving any spoilers away. We got to really work that scene both in the principal photography and during reshoots, and it became one of my favorite scenes because you start to see the shift of trust in both of them, and it's really amazing.
And did you...
Can happen. One of the first days the first day I shot with Tom was actually in Centennial Hall in Wrocław, Poland, and there's a big explosion that happens in the arena, and we were in the center, Tom and I, of all of these cannons, air cannons that were going to go off to kind of give us the air that we needed to look like it was actually exploding, and also the sound. So we had earplugs in, and we were in the center of about 20 machines, and we're falling all over each other, and it was hysterical because Josh Rivera, who plays Sejanus, was out on the outer corners, came up to us, was like, wasn't even that loud, but we're in the center of 20, we're like walking around, like, it was crazy, but it was wonderful, and it came out really wonderful in the film. Mm-hmm. Amazing. Thank you for asking. No, I'm really mad about it. I held 2 real snakes in the film. There was a garter snake in the reaping scene. His name, I named him Kevin for the day. We did I did kind of a sleight of hand trick to make it look like I was actually taking him out of my pocket, but in reality you're not supposed to approach snakes like this, so I didn't want to scare him if I put him in my pocket. And then there was a beautiful milk snake that I used for one of the montages. He was wonderful too. They're truly like docile creatures where they came from on their farm, and I would totally work with snakes again. If anybody wants to do that, I'm down.
Probably you.
What?
I think you.
Why?
Everybody loves you.
What? No, I mean, I don't know. I think in terms of talent, like, in the Rachel sings.
Yeah, she be singing.
Like, yeah.
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
I think it's definitely, we dig a lot deeper into the history of Pan Am than we've ever really seen before. And that's because Suzanne Collins, the author, really took such a deep dive into it herself. And, Suzanne writes when she has something to say, and she really wanted to tell a story about nature versus nurture and how the people that we meet along the way in our lives shape who we become. And it's always our responses to these situations, these consequences, and just kind of the circumstances of our environment that make us who we are.
Yeah. Hunter, you play Tigress Snow. What was it?
Oh, I mean, I had read the book when it came out, and I felt so strongly towards this character. And then when I got the opportunity to play her, I read the book kind of twice, from getting cast to wrapping shooting. So it was a lot of a lot of deep dive into her in the film by reading the books, but also immersing myself in the music, because the music is such an integral part to the story. And Francis and Suzanne, they had such a clear vision of what they wanted, and we worked with music producer Dave Cobb, who's amazing.
Yeah.
And so I listened to a lot of what he'd produced, because he produces for John Prine and Dolly Parton and so many amazing musicians that have that Appalachian folksy country vibe. And so I made a playlist called Lucy Gray Baird on my Spotify account, and I listened to that.
So
this morning I had my AirPods in, just listening to this playlist I had made that kind of just cultivated through what I thought her character arc was, but also just music that was reminiscent of what we would play and sing live on set in the movie. A scene with Viola, and when was I going to get an opportunity? Well, hopefully I get an opportunity to see my boyfriend do a scene with Viola Davis again. Yeah. I would love if that happened, but I would go to set. I didn't have any scenes with her, so I would go and just kind of take notes with Peter Dinklage as well. I would just go, and the man cannot give a bad take for his life. Wow. Everything is usable. Wow. It's actually crazy. Patsy Cline, the musician,
country singer.
Yeah, where we went into the film Coal Miner's Daughter. But my dialect coach, Tanner Marshall, spoke to Frances Lawrence, our director, and tried to understand where she comes from. And geographically, in the geography of Pan Am, which is based off of the United States,
yep,
she would be in North Carolina, Appalachian area. So that was really how they based off of, that's how we got it. To where
oratory. Got that from Juilliard. It's a little thing. I love this chemistry right now. But we know. Be great.
It's an amazing opportunity to get to use a different part of your instrument, and getting to kind of harness this different sound of a country, folksy, twangy folk singer is a gift as an actor. It's delicious to get to bite into that, and also to get to have an accent and do all of the different things that Lucy Gray gets to do within the film. The music is home to me, but this was an added element that was really Spanish, and getting to work on that location, all of these historical landmarks in Germany and in Poland. It adds to the experience as an actor.
Costume from one of your movies that you wish you could take home.
I wear this really pretty aqua blue dress when I sing I Feel Pretty in West Side Story, designed by Paul Tazwell. I didn't realize that people were stealing stuff from set or asking to keep things, and I have nothing from that set.
What?
I know.
From West Side Story, you didn't take
nothing.
anything? Did you steal anything from this movie?
From this movie?
Yeah.
I'm not wearing it today, but the ring that Lucy Gray wears throughout the film.
That's nice.
I like to think that it was her mom's wedding ring.
I think I stole like a lock of the wig, like a lock of my own hair. Which is really psycho now I think about it.
Oh my goodness. Well, if we're talking about my own looks, which I always feel weird, it's gotta be a tie between my two premiere looks. The Alexander McQueen is so amazing because so much of Alexander McQueen kind of like inspired the original films. And so that fashion moment that the fans picked up on so well, with the nod to the girl on fire dress, and the skirt was a rose, which is so important to our characters. But then also my Dior Couture look by Maria Grazia for my the London premiere, the world premiere, was a nod to Katniss's Catching Fire parade look.
I have a terrible audition experience.
I do have a terrible audition experience.
What is it?
I was actually, oddly enough, auditioning for a Broadway show of a very famous Broadway musical that was having a revival, and the producers and directors were ordering lunch while I was singing.
What?
It was so horrible.
Actually, while you were singing a song?
Yeah. I booked West Side Story a week later, though.